Echoes of the oak tree and the evil forest. Oh, I never thought I'd survive that night. The trees whispered my name, and I felt many eyes watching from every shadow. My name is Kofi. My village sat at the very edge of the evil forest, and the village had always warned us to stay far away from the evil forest. They said spirits roamed there, angry and vengeful. I thought it was all just stories to scare us. But that was before I saw it with my own eyes. Before I experienced the horrors of the forest, there were many beautiful days spent with my best friend Adama. The old oak tree at the center of the village was our haven, a massive, ancient oak tree that had witnessed many generations. It was also believed that the old tree came from the evil forest and settled at the village center. It remembers, it was good tree, not evil as that of the forest. We decided to carve our names into the tree's bark, a small token to ensure that we, too, would be remembered. Using a sharp stone, we carefully etched our names, giggling as we imagined future generations discovering our mark and wondering about the boys who had once played there. One evening as the sun dipped below the horizon, Adama asked, "Do you think the tree will know all about what we do? Will it know if we take an adventure even to the evil forest? Do the evil spirits still live there in the forest?" I shrugged, glancing around nervously. "I don't know, but we have been warned not to try to find out," I replied. Every day leading up to that fateful night, I noticed strange things near the edge of the forest. One morning, I saw a mist rolling out from between the trees, swirling and moving like it had a mind of its own. It crept close to the village, and I swear I heard faint whispers carried on the wind. Another day, I watched as a flock of birds flew over the forest, only to suddenly change direction as if something unseen had scared them away. Their frantic cawing echoed in my ears long after they were gone. Then there was the time I found footprints, huge, unfamiliar footprints, pressed into the dirt near the village boundary. They were like nothing I'd seen before, too large for any animal in our region. I asked the elders, but they just shook their heads and warned me to stay away from the forest. Then, that fateful night came. Despite all the warnings and strange occurrences, I let pride push me into curiosity and accepting Adama's death to venture into the forest. We sneaked past the village gates and stepped into the thick woods. The air grew colder, and the sky turned darker than I'd ever seen. As we walked deeper, we noticed more strange things. The trees bent in unnatural ways, almost as if they were alive. Every few steps, I heard rustling leaves, but there was no wind. Our bravado faded with every step. Then, we saw it, a tree with a hollow at its base, glowing with an eerie light. Adama moved closer, curiosity getting the better of him. He reached out, and that's when everything changed. The ground shook, and a chilling scream echoed through the forest. Adama froze, his eyes wide with terror. I grabbed his arm, but it was too late. Something invisible yanked him away, deeper into the woods. Panic surged through me, and I ran. Branches sprung out like long hands, scratched my face and arms, but I didn't stop. I could hear Adama's screams fading behind me. When I finally burst out of the forest, panting and covered in scratches, the brave village elders were already gathered nearby. They saw and heard the troubled forest, so they knew. They knew and hoped the foolish victims of the forest would survive and make it out. They watched and waited and found me the foolish and disobedient. I tried to tell them what happened. I asked for any chance to rescue Adoma, but they just shook their heads. The forest has taken him, they said. It does not forgive. That night, I lay in my bed in painful tears and regrets, the whispering trees and the glowing hollow haunting my dreams. The village held a ceremony for Adoma under the old oak tree. Although Adoma was lost forever to the forest, as it had claimed others before, but deep down I knew he would always be remembered as the old oak tree had promised us. Even now, years later, the memory chills my bones. The forest still stands, silent and dark, a reminder of the night I learned to obey the wise words and instructions of our elders. As time passed, I grew old. My hair turned silver, and my steps became slower, but the memory of that night never faded. Some nights with my grandchildren gathered around me, under the bright moonlight, we would sit under the old oak tree which still holds the name of Adoma and I. I would tell them stories of the past, of lessons learned and warnings heeded. And always, I'd end with the tale of the evil forest. Listen to the wisdom of your elders, I would say, my voice steady but gentle. Respect their warnings and their guidance. For the spirits of the forest are real, and they remember just as I never forget what happened to Adoma, and never take warnings lightly. My grandchildren would listen with wide eyes, clutching their blankets close. And as the moon climbed higher in the sky, I could see in their faces a mix of dread and respect, an understanding of the lessons I had learned the hard way. My story is a reminder of lessons from my past. Lessons passed down through generations, knowing that some stories are more than just tales, they are warnings, they are instructions, they are wisdom etched into our every life. As the years continued to pass, the village thrived under the old tree's silent watch. The tree, which had once been a mere backdrop to our childhood games, became a symbol of our story, connecting us to the past and towards the future. The stories I shared with my grandchildren were passed down, generation after generation, and the lessons learned from that fateful night remained a guiding light. And so, I leave this story as a testament to the enduring power of friendship, the importance of listening to warnings, and the wisdom of our elders. I am Kofi, a messenger, an echo to your generation.